Good morning, friends. Today we are going to learn Module 5th Business Correspondence Part 2nd. In the previous lecture, we learned about what is the meaning of business letter, how we follow the structure of the business letter. First of all, in the previous lecture, we learned about what are the types of correspondence. Again, the structure of business letter, that is, the first part is about heading, date, reference number, inside address, subject, salutation, body of the letter, and the next part is about the salutation, complimentary clause, signature, and identification mark or copy circulation. These are the points of structure of business letters. In the previous lecture, we learned about the body of the letter, salutation, heading. Now we are going to learn about the next part of that, the reference line. That is, it is about example, that is reference number. References indicate what the letter refers to, your reference, and the correspondence to refer to when replying our reference. So, in this way, we are going to write down the reference number. It is reference number is important part of the letter and it should be properly placed. It indicates letter number and the department from where the letter is being sent and the year. It helps in future reference. This reference number is given on the left hand corner after the heading. Some companies include both our reference number and your reference number in their letters. For example, we can write reference number as AB oblique FA department 20010-25. In this way, we can write down a reference number, our reference, and also a reference of the company as well. When referring to an order number or to be reference number used by you or your recipient, make sure you quote all references accurately. That's why reference line is important part in reference in the business letters. It can be placed instead of the subject title as well. Next part, salutation. That is, example, dear sir, dear sirs, dear madam, dear sir or madam, dear Mr. James, should be written below the address and with a space of one or two lines before the body of the letter. After the inside address, we are going to write down the salutation, and after inside address there is subject, and after that salutation. This is placed below the inside address. It is usually followed by a comma. The choice of salutation would depend upon your relationship with the receiver and the form of inside address. If you are addressing an organization, company, society, association, club, agency, you use, for example, dear sirs, dear madam, for addressing a firm or company. Only sir oblique madam for official and formal correspondence. If you are addressing the officer by name, you may use any of these, dear Rajesh, dear Rajeshwari, in informal format. So, and dear Sri Rampal, dear Srimati Sima is in formal way. My dear Sri Raghavendra or my dear Srimati Shubhangi, to informal or personal. The circulars sent for sales promotions or for promotion update from a large population have salutations such as dear customer, dear reader, dear subscriber, or dear member, etc. This is about the salutation, or it is followed by comma or a colon, which is optional. Next part is about body of the letter. Deals with how much information to give, how to plan a letter, what sort of style to use, how to make a letter as clear, informative, accurate as possible, length of the body of the letter that depends on the subject of the letter, the style and the language used. The right length includes the right amount of information. Next part is about sequence. That is, all the necessary points should be made in a logical sequence. Each piece of information linking with the previous one in a pattern that can be followed. So, put the ideas and information in logical order. Next part is about style. That is, avoid slang, jargon, buzzwords, and elitist language. Avoid the passive voice. Use the active voice and active verbs. Use full forms. Be brief. Give short but clear explanations, instructions, reasons. Be specific. State the facts. Be pleasant, positive, lively, and encouraging, as well as you should be polite one. Use the word you in the opening sentence, but avoid using too many you in your letter. I should be used when you are speaking about yourself. We should be used when speaking on behalf of your company or a group of associates. See what about the first paragraph in body of the letter? That is, state the main idea in the first or second sentence of your letter. These sentences should catch the reader's eye and get him to react to your letter. In the first paragraph, you will thank your correspondent for his letter if replying, introduce yourself and your company if necessary, state the subject of the letter, and set out a purpose of the letter. What should be in the second paragraph? That is, points that need to be made, answers you want to give, or questions you want to ask. It is the main part of the letter. It is concerned with final paragraph. That is, when closing the letter, thank the person for writing. If you reply, encourage further inquiries and correspondence. Mention that you look forward to be hearing from the person soon. Important issues from the previous paragraph may be restarted. Complementary clause, that is, in complementary clause, you are going to write down yours sincerely, yours faithfully, or yours truly, or truly yours. Next, if the letter begins dear sir, dear madam, or dear sir or madam, it will close with yours faithfully. If the letter begins with personal name dear Mr. James, it will close with yours sincerely. Leave one line between the body of the letter and the complementary clause. The next part after complementary clause is signature. That is, the signature block consists of your typed name, your handwritten signature, and your your position in the form. The handwritten signature should be between the complementary clause and the typed name and title. Next part is about name and title. That is, four or more spaces should be left below the complementary clause for your name and title. A courtesy title, that is Mr., Mrs., Miss, or Miss, may be included. Omit the name and title if they appear on the letterhead. After the complimentary clause signature, there is a enclosures. Enclosures, small enclosures like checks, folded flyers, business cards are placed inside the folds of the letter. To safeguard against overlooking them, include an enclosure line in your letter. When your enclosures are bulkier, use an appropriately sized manila envelope. What should be the enclosure line? That is bill of lading, 5 copies. See, enclosure may include leaflets, prospectus, CVs, etc. They can be mentioned at the bottom of the letter after enclosures or ENCL dot. If there are a number of documents, these are listed. Next part is about copies line CC, that is carbon copies, to whom you are going to send. Example, CC Mr. Jones. CC is written when copies are sent to people other than the named recipient. Put CC and list the individuals receiving the copies of the letter by full name and title. BCC means blind carbon copies is written on the copies themselves, not on the top copy. If you do not want the named recipient to know that other people have received copies. Next part, per pro. That is, the term per pro is sometimes used in signature and means for and on behalf of. Next part, postscript. Example, that is PS, means a note for additional attention is usually put on the left 2 or 3 lines below the last line. So, this is about the body of the letter, signature, enclosures, and how you are going to write down all the parts one by one in your business letter. Here we end about what is the structure of the business letter. In the last lecture and in this particular lecture, we learn about the structure of the business letter. In the next lecture, we will learn about the types of business letters. Till then, stay safe, stay home.